Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new video, and this time I want to talk about sustainability in the hobby, recyclability. So, what we can do with this excess of plastic and so on that we have in our hobby, and how to deal with that. What are the potential solutions? But before going to solutions, I think it's better to see what is the status, right? What is going on plastic recycling? Okay, I will focus mainly on plastic recycling. At the end, I will talk a little bit about the packaging. So, yeah, if you look at plastic recycling today, and this is based on Europe, but it's quite similar in North America, basically we are recycling three plastics. We are recycling transparent PET, that is the plastic that we see in all the bottles, and we only recycling the plastic from the bottles. We even if the PET is used, for example, for a lot of food trays like the salad boxes or similar, all these transparent fluffy plastics that we have on food, only the bottles today are recycled. Then we have the polyethylene. The polyethylene is recycled in different forms. You can recycle the film that is used, for example, to the stretch film that is used on the pallets. You can recycle bottles from polyethylene. You can recycle quite a lot of things from polyethylene, and the same for polypropylene. The only thing is polyethylene and polypropylene are losing quite some properties. You use a food grade, for example, is what's food. So it's downgraded most of the times when it's recycled. Transparent PET, transparent PET, it keeps the quality. It keeps quite well the quality, especially if you are just limiting your stream to bottle recycled PET. And when I say transparent, I mean you can recycle refreshment bottles like soda, or you can as well water, and all these type of things have to be completely colorless or very little blue tint on the bottom. What happened with the polyester? That is the plastic used in the miniatures. There is not a recycling stream today. Okay, is and I have to add here, the food industry is moving away from polyester in a way, and other industries like household, because it's not recycled, right? And if you want to go into recycled plastics, you have to move away. So and then we have the resins used on the epoxy resins and all this type of stuff we use in other miniatures, or the resins used, the resin miniatures. This will be never recycled. Okay, so there's no way we can recycle that. There is some ways that we normally don't receive, but for example, in Finecast, sorry, we had the frame around the miniature. This is not possible to recycle. It's not possible to regrind. The advantage of polyester, if you manage to send it back, you can try to regrind and reuse. Okay, but resins, there is no way you can do that. Okay, it is not easy. So yeah, this is the situation on recycling streams. Why Games Workshop is using polyester? Polyester have a very good mechanical properties. Okay, it's quite it has quite good resistance to impact, and this is what is allowing to do this type of methods that you see here, right? Like the Briar Queen, that you have very small point of contact. You can have this loop here that is quite resistant, right? I have this one, yeah, you can break it, but it's quite resistant. If you do this in resin, forget it, it will be broken. If you do this in other plastics, like the ones we have seen before, on polyester or PET, it's not easy. On polypropylene, if you will not have the same definition, and on top, this will be this type of plastic that we see that is a little bit too flexible, too fluffy. It will bend. It will not resist like that, like we have here, Lady Oleander. So a lot of these designs, even this lady, can be quite tricky. Okay, so there is another thing as well on polyethylene and polypropylene. They are not easy to glue. They are not easy to paint. Okay, so it's difficult to paint them. It's difficult to glue them. So we'll create a lot of challenge, and they are not plastic suited for the application we want here. This is not plastic suited for this type of fine detail. So it's, yeah, the Polypropylene is used in all of the cups we have in the market. All of the cups we have in the market are mainly polypropylene. Well, not all, but all the drink cups, all the household product cups are made of polypropylene with different type of tints. Of course, you can paint them, but it's easy. It's not easy. It's a plastic that is repellent normally to glues, water, and even paint. Okay, so this is the reason why in the industry, and this is not only Games Workshop, all the models that we can buy out there, all the miniatures from Tamiya and other companies, Rebel, all of them are made of polystyrene or derivative of polystyrene. Okay, remember, it's not just polystyrene. From polystyrene, we all have the ABS, we have the IPS, that is the high impact polystyrene. We can have the ABS that is used in a lot of bumpers of cars, or was used. So it's a very nice technical plastic that have very good mechanical properties, and this is what, and also it's very nice to inject on an injection machine, and this is why we can do all these type of shapes and forms. Also, this is interesting to see what is the volume of the plastic. What means, right? What is the volume, and why there is not interest on recycling polystyrene? So if we look, where is and this is the use of plastic in 2019 in Europe. So you can see mainly is packaging, and this is why in packaging there is a lot of effort on how to recycle packaging, and this is plastic packaging. Okay, so you can see the miniatures are not plastic packaging. Okay, the miniatures will be on others, I guess, or maybe on toys, but toys is also on others. So you can imagine. So you can see main block packaging. Second block is used a lot on buildings. There we have PVC on the piping. We have a lot of plastic components used in here and there. Automotive is quite important as well. And then these are quite smaller, but you can see cars and automotive and electrical devices have a different recycling stream that that is more specific. So here I will not enter. Then we have, of course, in leisure and sports. And then on others, well, we have a lot of things, right? You can see here we have, for example, medical applications, but you can have also toys. And toys are much bigger than the hobby. So hobby is really a super small portion, super niche portion of all the plastic use we have today. So this is why we are not going to influence the market to recycle polystyrene. Right? It's not. There is no way that Games Workshop can have any type of influence, even if they put together all the miniature companies. Then we come to the problem, right? So what can be a potential solution? I will say I don't think changing plastic is an option. Can be possible, but this is really very theoretical. And even if you do that, I don't think this is really a solution. But one thing that you can do as a company is ask the consumers to bring the spruce back to the shops, right? If you buy in a shop, and I will say here, I will only use the Warhammer or the Games Workshop shops. I will not ask retailers to ask the plastic back. And here you have to be very specific. You only can do that if you know that the consumers will send you back only your own spruce, because you know what is the mixture of your plastic, right? So you will recall the spruce from your clients. You pick it up, you make a container, or you make a big box, or you make, I don't know what type of a bin full of spruce, and then you send it back to the Games Workshop. This can be a way, but it's quite expensive. It's a lot demanding, and I don't think Games Workshop will be able to do that unless there is a big problem on plastic, right? So there is not really a solution to go to recycling on polyester today, to be fair, and it's quite annoying. So the other solution is try to minimize the spruce, try to minimize the weight of the spruce in our plastic material. This is not easy neither. Okay, because if you reduce the plastic spruce, you can have a problem on how the plastic will flow in the mold, and you will have problems to fill correctly the mold, and then you will have gaps in the miniature. So the sprue is really key. The sprue is not only a frame to protect the miniature when it's sent to you. The sprue are the channels to fill the parts, right? If the sprues are not well designed, the parts are not filled correctly, and then you will have misinjection, right? So it's really critical how the spruce is designed. You need thick what's called thick tubes, right, or thick cavities in the spruce, in order that the plastic is flowing quite very easily into the part that you want to mold. And then, of course, before entering the part, you make these connections as small as possible to try to minimize the flashes when you remove it from the sprue. But this is really a tricky work. There is a lot of design on mold design, and it's not easy to do. So this is why the sprues are needed, and this is why the only solution is try to see if there is a way to regrind these sprues back to the mold. And I think this is the only way I see today to do it. If I was my company, I don't know if I will do in any way. If you receive the sprues back, you can do this. I don't know. It's difficult because even if you give a voucher, it's going to be difficult. How much sprue you give for a voucher, right? How you do it by weight. It's not easy. You have to depend on the goodwill of the people that is sending the sprue back, and on top, even the plastic have like expiring date, right? And normally is not the plastic after years, and if it's exposed to high temperatures, if the plastic is exposed to UV, can be damaged. So you have to be careful what you receive back. You can put markings on the sprues, so you know from when is the sprue, or you can have this type of markings from which product. There is a ways to mark the sprues, but it's not easy. And I think there is the only way to work for Games Workshop is try to have a system like we have in other things that you send it back, like the bottles of beer in Belgium, right? That you send it back to the shop, and then you receive a small refund back. So, and there is another point, right? That we always overlook, but we throw away the sprues, but not just the sprues. We throw away all the packing materials, okay? And I will say when they move out of the blisters, this was a good move because the blister normally, the blister is made of PETG, is not recycled neither, but they changed everything by boxes, okay? And the boxes, although you cannot see the product directly, you can put a nice picture, it's nice, and the paper is very easy to recycle, and there is a lot of streams and paper you know that is going to be recycled. So moving back to boxes, I think it's good. Stop using the plastic trays inside the boxes is also a thing that they have to think about, because these plastic trays are not recycled neither. So they should find a way maybe to use carton inserts. So if I was Games Workshop, I will try to focus on minimize the use of plastic and films, because this today, the films that we receive at home are not easily recycled. In a lot of countries, they are not collecting them. You put them maybe in the plastic bin, on the plastic bag, but they will not be recycled in a lot of countries. Okay, so this will be the other focus that Games Workshop can look if they want to be more sustainable, is to use to put less film plastics on the books, for example. And here I'm meaning if the book, I can understand that you want to seal the box, right? You want the box, put a film around to avoid that the box is open accidentally. You can do by a film. I think it's for me it's a very nice way to protect it. The stretch film that use this normally this film can be recycled. It's not recycled today, can be, but it's not. But it's not a lot of weight of plastic, to be fair. But the books inside, why they need to be sleeved? Why they need to have a film around, right? Why you need to put if they go inside of a box? Why they need? They now create a problem with the codexes. The codexes needs to have a sleeve because they have a code inside, and you want to protect that the code is not open or is not used by any other person before it arrives to you, right? So in the way to ensure that the code inside for the electronic use is not used is to film the book, but this creates a problem, right? So this is the only way I will say Games Workshop can do a small step and start reducing the film around the books. And that's all what I want to talk here. So let me know what do you think. Let me know what do you think about my thinking. How do you see the future? And if you really think that we need to do steps or not towards being more sustainable as well in our hobby. That's all for now. So I hope you have enjoyed this talk. I thought it was not too long for you. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.